Hi guys, on the Zoom last week there was two different topics that were suggested: silhouette photography and action photography. So what we're going to do is take it one at a time. So today in this video I'm going to show you how to create beautiful silhouettes like these. Okay, so what I've got here is a setup. I'll talk about in a minute, but the main thing is when you're creating a silhouette, it's very simple to do. What you got to do, create a situation is no light or very little light on the subject and loads of light on the background. You could do that in the studio with flashlights, or you could do that outside with natural light, with shooting into the sun or bright sky and so on. And as you noticed in the photographs I just shared quickly, some are outside showing exactly that, and a couple inside. But for fundamentals, what I'm going to do is show you here how to create that indoors. And let's do it. Okay, so I'm here back in the studio, in my small home studio. That's the kitchen. So last time I had a light from behind the subject because I was trying to light through the subject. This time is completely different. So I've got my subject, this giraffe. I'm going to try to light that up, sorry, not light that up, but photograph it, but by lighting the background. And I got this photo card with a white background, so I'll shine light on that, but no light on the giraffe. And the way I've set things up is I got this light and this one, they're both pointing to the background. I've got these grids, and what they help to do is control the beam of light so it just hits the background and it doesn't spill onto the subject, onto the giraffe here. So I've got that here, and I've got the same here. Okay, so I think pretty much we are ready to go. What I have done is set everything up and done some checks so we don't use up time. The settings on those lights, I've got 16th power on both. I'm going to trigger that those lights with my Godox trigger, which is mounted on the camera already. I put the camera a bit low down because I don't really want to see the table surface. I want to just make sure that I'm looking at the giraffe and the background. So that's what we're going to do. And I can just about, I've set it up so that that's exactly what we see, and I'm going to share that. I've got the same settings as I did last time. Because it's a very similar setup, there's no need to change the values here. 1/250th of a second, f6.3 is the aperture on my 85mm lens, and I'm on ISO 100. So let's do that. Okay, I'm going to have a quick look. Well, that's pretty good. The background is nicely lit up. The main thing you got to do is when you're photographing a silhouette is make sure you got it in profile. So if just look at the giraffe again. If you photograph it from the front, well, there's not much of a profile. You're not going to see much. So you got to have it like this, so you can see the neck and the legs separated. So that's how I've set this up. But what I'm going to do is I've got these filters here, so I'm going to put a yellow filter in front and another yellow filter here. So now, oh sorry, it's an orange filter, got my colors wrong there, orange filter, and let's see how that now looks. Take another picture. I've not changed any settings at all, so just press the button and hopefully you saw that orange light. Yeah, that's okay. So let's now look in a bit more detail at the photos that we've done. So the one in the studio here, that's I talked a fair bit about it already, but here it is. And what I've done here is really a basic setup. You've seen the setup, and you can do that. Okay, you could done if you haven't got the color gels, but you can easily do that. If you can't do it in the studio, there's natural light. So let's have a look at a couple more. The first one is this one with Ray in the picture, and we've talked about this before, and it's pretty amusing. So that's quite nice. What we did was basically it was dark, and we used 3 flashlights to light up the background so that there was zero light falling, and Ray was standing in the same area, or sorry, same plane as Robin Hood, and had to make some adjustments, so we got a bit more of a profile of Ray, and well, the rest is the same as any other picture. So there you go, that's Robin Hood. That's one example. So here's another one which is indoors but using some lights. This is quite creative. I mentioned using different gels. So in the foreground there are some candles, and used a blue gel with a light behind the couple, and also in this example we put a glass table or a reflective table in the front, and that's worked out quite nicely. So that's excellent. Okay, so the next 3 are outdoors. This is a family portrait. They were looking for something a bit different, so I did a load of pictures for them, but this is the one where I got them walking across, mainly against a light sky, and I had to darken out their images slightly, but mostly, you know, there's enough differential for them to appear as silhouettes. Of the daughter, the third one long, she because of the way her hair was, didn't get her head in quite the profile, so a bit disappointing with that, but generally you see the principle that I'm talking about. All right, so this next picture was taken at a similar location in the local park, and there was a path along which people walk along, and then cyclists come along in Woodthorpe Park, and that part was in shadow, but a bit further away this tree was in light, and of course the sky is pretty bright, so I just got slightly lower down, and when the cyclist walked through, the cyclist went through this particular area, I had the camera set up on burst mode, so I took several shots, and didn't really need to do much more to this shot at all, so not much editing at all, and that worked out quite nicely. And finally, the first time we had snow last week, I think, this was another one. Normally you would have photograph, or when you're taking silhouettes, you really want the the person or the subject in this case to be right at the horizon. However, in this case, if this was just a regular time, the picture wouldn't be that good because the grass on both sides of the path would look quite dark. However, in this case, because we got the snow, there's we've got quite a light area, so the silhouette stands out, and I made sure I was standing sideways so that when that person was walking through, I got a profile of the person. Unfortunately, because it was so quite cold, the person wasn't moving the arms, but it is what it is. So, okay, now you've seen all these pictures. It's time you went out and took your own and shared those. Okay, there's your challenge. Let's go for it.